The Legacy Hall project at Cave Springs Camp in Beamsville accepted a $100,000 donation from the Lincoln Rotary Club recently. Rotary members and representatives of Cave Springs celebrated with a reception at the camp that has been offering kids a summer camp experience since 1951.
So we saw the synergy that Rotary is all about helping people, and Cave Springs Camp is about helping children. And so we had a board meeting to discuss it, and we set about a small group to investigate. You know, is Cave Springs Camp and is this project worthy of our donation? And so I must say that our group of 4 people were very rigorous in their investigation, and it took some time, and then came back with a recommendation to our club to support the camp.
What do you think the Rotary Club sees in this camp and in this vision that made them want to jump in the way they did?
Well, I think one of the biggest things that they see and appreciate is just the impact that camp has on, you know, a growing child. Just because there's a lot of soft skills that we learn here at camp as a camper and as a staff. For instance, it teaches you become confident in the way that you conduct yourself and the way that you speak to others, as well as it teaches you to be courteous as well, because you realize that your actions have implications on others. So yeah, I think they recognize that.
Once completed, Legacy Hall will allow Cave Springs the ability to offer year-round programming and open their doors to community groups as well. It seems to me that this is more than a check presentation today, but this is, in reality, is a huge endorsement by Rotary of what you do here. What does that part mean to you?
Absolutely. I couldn't find an organization more like-minded than we are. We share a lot of the same values. We all care about kids, and we all care about the impact that camp facility can have on a kid. It's their way for leadership development. I don't think people, you know, when you go to a job, you're interviewed because of your hard skills. Where do you get your soft skills? Where do you learn to get along or team build? You learn those kind of skills at camp.
What are your thoughts on the new building over your shoulder and how it will impact the next generation of campers?
Yeah, well, we are very excited about this new building, this new development for Cave Springs. So this is going to allow us to extend our camping season to 12 months and build up the programming around that. So it also changes our dynamic of how we use the site. So no longer will we just be catering to the summer camps, but we'll have spring, summer, fall, winter, as well as open up ourselves as a community center and any sort of lodging. So it's quite amazing.
In addition to the $100,000 donation, Rotary has set aside $25,000 in a fund they will use to match community donations. They are hopeful that the community and former Cave Spring campers will answer the call.
So we have a fund set aside, $25,000, ready to donate to Cave Springs Camp, and we will do so on a dollar-for-dollar matching basis. So if, for example, and we're hoping this will happen, there are many alumni, children who have come to this camp and had their lives affected by this camp since the 1950s, right? And they're all over the place. And if you are one of those, like you saw Evan tonight talking about his experience, it affected him and it changed his life in a positive way. So if you're one of those people, or you're a parent of one of those people who had a positive experience here, and maybe a life-altering experience here, maybe you want to consider giving something back.
Cave Springs will continue with their fundraising efforts, which will lead to year-round inclusive and accessible programming in the very near future. Go online to find out more at legacyhallproject.org. In Niagara, you're watching The Source.